It's another beautiful Friday, and of course, we're in Spice Country. We're in the studios of GIS, and it's another opportunity to welcome you to Bunje. Well, of course, you must know by now that Bunje is the most popular TV on Fridays. It comes to you between 8 and 9 on Fridays, right in the studios of GIS Television. I'm your host, Robert White, and I'm extremely happy to be here with you this evening. Now, those of you who cried because we weren't here last week, we want to apologize and tell you we missed you too, and that is why we're back. We're so excited, and we know you cried well. Some of you still crying. We see the rain, eh? We hear that's your tears. Well, we start with some Bunje info, and here I have Joe Max Wildman from River Sally. Joe, you did well, boy. You're the winner of the October 1983 event school quiz. And you know the October 1983 scenario around the killing of Bishop and our Prime Minister then and that sort of information. And there was a quiz around it. Joe did well. Congratulations, Joe, from River Sally. And that's River Sally government is going to. And then the Grenada Cultural Foundation has extended the Independence Logo competition up to the 15th of November 2013. So those of you who wanted to get involved and you were kind of tardy and so, hey, you got a couple of weeks more. So the logo competition has been extended to the 15th of November. Applicants can collect forms from the Cultural Foundation office Monday to Friday from 8 to 4. So you can collect your forms at the Cultural Foundation office. Don't you know what that is? That is in the stadium. Yes, the office is located in the stadium. And listen, while we're at it, remember, take the opportunity to clean up your environment, make the place look nice in preparation for the 40th anniversary of our independence. That's a big thing, eh? A lot of things in Grenada doesn't last for 40 years. Independence make 40 years, right? Or we are about to celebrate the 40th anniversary. So clean up the place nice. Congratulations to Dean Bido. Dean, congratulations. You're from Bonnet Government School. You're the winner of the Coast OECS reading competition. Now I want to make a point here. I was listening to the news. I heard a lady calling to not the news, she calling to our calling program and complaining when Dean won. There's no coverage. We're not hearing because Dean from the country. Well, let me tell you something. You win, Dean. Congratulations. I hear you on TV. I hear you on radio. So congratulations. I guess, I don't know who the lady was, but she's happy now. You made her proud. You made all of us proud. Fish Friday happens on a Friday. So, of course, it's happening now. Go up to Wharf. All right? Western Tongue, Kirani James City. Get your fish, fried, steamed, nicely prepared. Go have a good time. And bring your friends if you're going. Bring your friends. No, don't go yet. Don't go yet. Go after the show. Yes, you can't leave now. The Grenada Cultural Foundation is glad to report that the Carriacou Carnival launch was a success. Big up to Carriacou. You're doing well, eh? We had to look out for Sister Isles. They're doing extremely well. Best Village competition has started, and you are reminded to plant and decorate your community in preparation to crown a winner. So, to that, remember I said, plan, nice up the place, paint up, garden, everything like that. Make it look nice, the flowers and so. And the Diwali festival on November 9th, now that's next Saturday, Diwali, and that takes place at Spice Basket. Now Diwali is an independent, not independence, but important Indian celebration. So, Diwali next Saturday at Spice Basket. We take a break. When we come back, more beautiful info on Bunje.
Bunje, it's a cultural theme. Experience the goodness of the spice. Friday nights from 8 to 9. Culture at its best. A way of life, of customs and traditions. Bunje, hear the stories. Listen to them. Witness the action and the old talk. A real Grenadian cultural experience. Bunje, a product of the Grenada Cultural Foundation.
It's the 1st of November, and what happens in Grenada on the 1st of November? First, we celebrate candle lighting, and you go to the cemetery, you have a good time, you put your candles on your family grave, your mother, your father, whoever it is you have. So it's an important Christian activity, we are told, and we have a video interview with Father Harris from the Catholic Church, who's going to explain the importance, the relevance, and connect us to what it is really about. Let's view Father Harris with this interview.
I am Keon here to interview Father Harris for the Bunje talk show to get your take on All Saints and what is the significance of All Saints.
Right, yeah, thank you, and viewers. For All Saints, okay, there's a little bit of misunderstanding here as to exactly what we're celebrating. Okay, while the emphasis might be on the things to do with the lighting of candles, the devotion of lighting candles and grave, right? That devotion in particularly is connected with the following day, right? The commemoration of All Souls. So let me just talk about saints. For All Saints, what we are doing is celebrating God's love for his people, for ordinary man and woman. Okay, what makes someone a saint? Is it what the persons who the church has given some official recognition? Someone who the church has canonized? No, not necessarily. Neither is it necessarily about some person, performing some miraculous thing, gift or something like that. But more about the persons living God's love and living an exemplary life. That is what all saints is strictly about. Celebrated God's love for an individual and someone who have embraced that love in their daily, ordinary life, okay, and not necessarily being canonized by the church, the church giving that recognition. It's like a country which have national heroes, right? And so All Saints is a feast for the unsung heroes of Christian faith. Somewhere around the Middle Ages, okay, the Christians recognized, it started first with the monks, recognizing, setting aside a particular day for the faithful who have died. Okay, they have read things, scriptures like in Second Maccabees Bible, which talks about the honorable thing to take up collection and have, some devotion done for the dead, the fallen soldiers. And so they have set aside this particular day to commemorate these faithful departed men and died and gone ahead of us. And from that tradition becomes, All Souls Day, which is celebrated on the 2nd of November. Now, within the church, we have the tradition of anticipating a day, right? So we normally start in the evening. So I want to believe that here in Grenada and much of the other parts of the Caribbean, that is where this tradition of going in the evening after nightfall, of putting light candles on the grave of persons. And initially it was meant to be a time in which persons say prayers, share stories of their relatives, the deceased loved ones as they go along. The nature of the people we are, Caribbean people, we're not a people who like things which are somber, and so yes, we see that as church, and we'll do those things in the four corners of a building. We keep quiet when we come into church, but when we are outdoors, the energy comes alive. And so, in addition to the prayers, right, that is accompanied by food and thing. And don't forget, our ancestral roots with that in bringing food to the dead.
On the topic of ancestral roots, the younger generations with All Saints today, like, what do you think about, like, what is your take with the younger folks?
The younger folks.
With the...
As in every one of our culture, there's a need for a lot more education, right? Educating our young people as to why do we do certain things, what the significance of it. And when I say education, I'm not just talking about going in a classroom and read something from a book and thing, but even passing on the values from the childhood, from the baby stage, the preschool stage, explaining to them why we do X, Y, and Z. What is this celebration about? Because it's a very significant celebration, right? It's a recognition that, listen, there is some connection between the living and the dead, okay? It is really proclaiming that we do recognize that okay, it is not necessarily true that when you're dead, you're done, right? We all believe in a spirit world, right? And we all believe, majority of us believe in a world after, okay? After death. And we do believe in spirits on a whole, simple little cultural tradition, all right? We talk about dreaming our grandmother and thing, and none of us really take that too lightly or passing. okay? And, things like when we play our way and things like that, we have a dream and we go and play a number or something like that, okay? So we believe that there's this other world there, right? And just the same way we believe that my good deeds will affect generations after me, thing too, right?
Okay, well, some, as you say in tradition, some practices around this time, we well know about ashram and, the candlelight and all that on the grave. So that with the ashram and the corn, like, that was passed down from, like, what is the relations between the two?
I think, yes, I want to believe that. I'm not fully versed on why ashram are so, right? But in all major religion, food plays an important part, right? And with our African ancestral roots, okay, there is a thing about the food for the dead and passing on of food for the dead, okay? And so I believe it has some cultural roots or historical values to it.
Okay, so there is no specific date or time when this practice was being taken place, or?
Yes, as I said, it began somewhere in the Middle Age, or even as far back as medieval time, and then even this tradition goes beyond the pre-Christianity period, right? In the early period, and it's not something which is just akin to Christianity. There are other faiths, other belief, Hinduism, and so have a similar tradition of honoring. Right, and and honoring their ancestor. If we put it like that, rather than vaguely just honoring the dead.
Yeah.
It brings out a little more relevance there.
Okay. On the topic of the dead, like I mean, a lot of people want to know why so much emphasis is placed on the dead. Like, why celebrate the dead?
Okay, we are commemorating, right? We're calling to memory, right? Our ancestors, the dead was fallen, men and women who have gone beyond us, right? And it goes back to the basic thing. I will not tell you, come up here and curse you about your grandmother, right? It is to say that, of course, your grandmother played an important part in your life. And therefore, it is a noble thing for us to remember them and offer prayers to them, to God, not to them, but to God, asking that on the final judgment that the Lord will be merciful to them. This is what we are called to do. So it's not as just, we're going to light candles. So let's pray for them. Okay? Let's pray that when it comes to judgment day, that God will show mercy to them, because He's the one that will judge us, not you and I. Okay? And so that is, for me, that is a singular most important reason for it, right? Of commemorating, calling to mind their memory, right? The other reason too is that we learn from them, all right? We want to continue the tradition, all right? A people without a knowledge of their history is no people at all. And every family have a history, right? And so you make this connection with the dead, right? As to where you are coming from, as a family, as a people, right? You come from somewhere. Okay? And so it's not a matter of that, okay, you just bury them in the cemetery and you forget about them. No, we give them the respect that is due.
Okay, well, on that note, this weekend, All Saints weekend, you'd like to leave any reminders for anyone or how insult?
On this All Saints, All Souls weekend, the reminder is that I encourage people, yes, you go to the cemetery to put, the candles on your grave. Yes, you're sharing in a spiritual, cultural tradition, and to remember fundamentally it's about calling to mind their memory, and never forget to say a prayer for the dead, for your dead relatives, and try and embrace some of the values that they would have passed on to us, make us better people. Right? With that, I think we'll get it right.
Okay, Father, I'd like to thank you for this interview. Okay.
And happy
All Saints.
Thank you, and that was an interview with Father Clifton Harris of the Catholic Faith, giving us an insight into the meaning of the celebration, that traditional celebration of lighting candles on the graves of our loved ones. We call it All and All Saints. Tonight is actually the night, the All Saints night, and you would see on the screen some candles being lit, and that was actually taken today. That's footage gathered today from the cemetery. We understand that the rain would have subsequently almost washed out the entire thing, but here we still see some of the footage of candles that were lit as an expression of our communication with our dead family or dead relatives. As you would have heard the explanation given by Father Harris, the reason why we actually do this, we celebrate this tradition. And tonight it's All Saints night, tomorrow it's All Souls, and some folks light the candles on All Saints, some light it on All Souls night. So there's going to be a similar thing happening tomorrow at the cemeteries around the island. You'd have heard our soft-spoken interviewer, that's Keon. he's in real life, nice soft-spoken Keon. So we want to ask you as of now to give us a short, 435-2636. Tell us what was your most memorable, some of your most memorable moments in the whole candlelighting experience. You know, we go to the cemetery, there's asham, and there's a nice little Halloween lanterns that some of us make, and I know we do all sorts of crazy things as kids when you go to those activities, because certainly for me, that was one time scared at the cemetery. Outside of that, I afraid to pass. But in the night when there's candlelighting, because there was so much folks in the cemetery, it didn't seem as a place with all this mystique and intrigue, and there were all your friends going, and you had all this you know, you go to asham, and so who remembers what asham is? But tell us, before you answer who remembers what asham is, here's your question. What are some of your most memorable or your most intriguing memories of candlelighting? Give us a call, 435-2636. We're live in the studios waiting to hear some of your exciting and memorable occasions in candlelighting. I had some myself, but let me hear what yours are. Right, so remember we were saying tonight we're lighting, as I said, some cemeteries, they do light on All Saints. I know Guav light on All Saints, and some do on All Souls. And I remember going one night to Guav. I didn't know then that they were lighting on All Saints, so I thought, well, okay, we can go All Souls. And I went, my son, my daughter, and myself in the cemetery. 3 of us are alone in the cemetery, All Souls. I kind of got scared then by that time, you know. So 435-2636. We have a call on the outside. If not, we take a break, and when we come back, we got 2 lovely ladies in the studio to have a chit-chat with.
Bonjay, it's a cultural theme. Experience the goodness of the spice. Friday nights from 8 to 9. Culture at its best. A way of life, of customs and traditions. Bonjay, hear the stories. Listen to the music. Witness the act talk. A real Grenadian cultural experience. Bonjay, a product of the Grenada Cultural Foundation.
Welcome back. You're on live on Bonjay. I seem to hear the calls going. We got the lines there? Aha. Good evening. Welcome to Bonjay. Yes, hello. Yes, well, hello and welcome to Bonjay. You're live?
Yes.
You're calling to give us your most memorable experience in the cemetery.
Yeah, well, my most memorable experience was teaching the candles.
You mean you're going to the cemetery and thief candles? Are you serious?
Yeah, but you have to understand why, man.
Tell me why.
Because we never had electricity in the house. And we used to have a torch, a flambeau.
Mm-hmm.
When I get candle, that means we have candle in the house, so we can have candlelight, man.
Oh, okay. So for you, it was a way of ensuring that you had lights beyond candlelighting.
Yeah, man.
All right.
For weeks and things, we have candle, man.
Tell us something about asham. What was some of your most memorable experience with the asham in the cemetery?
The most memorable experience of asham was the choking, man. You used to choke you sometimes.
Man, you used to take too much a big spoon. Never happened.
Yeah, that was the problem.
You know, I'm sure like every young fella, you would have gone to the cemetery with a bag of asham, which you were eating from, and a bag of sand. So when your friend asks for some, you give him sand instead of asham. Sure. Don't lie. You're on national TV. Tell the truth.
No, that is part of the thing.
No matter how many times we did this, and I get catch a couple of times too, eh? You know what I mean? But that was one of the most exciting things, man. It's trying to see who are holding tonight.
You have to do it. You have to do it.
Thank you very much for calling, man. We appreciate your input. Enjoy the celebrations.
Yeah, man.
Good. So you hear it? I mean, we had fun in the cemetery. It was, I mean, nowadays you have DJ and all kind of things. We didn't have that then, but we had fun in the cemetery. So remember I told you that we'll be having two lovely ladies in the studio with us, and I'm extremely happy. I'm in great company. We have here Ashley Jerome and Sonaika McKee. Oh, aren't they lovely? Stop that. Ashley, welcome. Sonaika, welcome.
Thank you.
Two ladies. I'm told that you are extremely talented. That you have been for a while doing your different contributions in different aspects of our culture. Let's speak with Ashley. If only if I get you closer to me. Ashley, I was doing a little reading on your bio, and I see you actually dance.
Yes.
And what interests me is that you started to dance almost as you started to speak.
Yes, I did.
I mean, you have been. I see you were dancing at age 7.
Yes, I started. That's when I started.
Why dance?
Well, that's the thing that really interests me. I was in a lot of sports like tennis, swimming, and so on. And dancing was the only thing I would say, yes, I want to get up, I want to go to dancing. But the others, it was just like, oh, I have to go to that, you know? So I really enjoyed it. It's the way I express myself.
Oh, okay. Okay, so there was this passion about dancing.
Yes.
All right. What are some of the things you would have done along the way? Well, not so many things, but some of your achievements along the way.
Well, my group that I'm in right now,
Oh, you would have done
Spiceland Dancers.
Spiceland Dancers. Okay,
Yes,
I know
we've
that.
done a lot of performances, independent celebrations, little galas. I even took part for myself in school activities and school concerts, competitions. Actually, recently took part in the BT Spring Bing competition.
So you were part of it?
Yes, I was. Even
Good.
though it didn't come through, it was a nice experience because I was the only dancer that made it to the finals.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations. I've always wondered. Sometimes I see even the ballet when you dance ballet, because I imagine you do different types of
Yeah,
genre.
different types, yes.
But the ballet always, you go up on your toes, and
Yes.
I wonder how could you hold all these pounds on these poodle toes? They must be crying out.
Well, it's a special shoe that we use. It's called a point shoe.
A point shoe. You hear that?
Yes.
It's a point shoe. Those of you who want to dance outside it. Yeah.
Yes, so it's a special board at the bottom and on the sides to help you stay up. But it's very...
Well, actually, I could dance. I just had to get a point shoe.
Hurts though. You lose a lot of toenails, split toes, everything.
Split toes.
Yes.
No, I ain't dancing again. No. That frightened me. But I imagine like every activity, every cultural expression, right? Be it dance, be it singing, be it whatever it is, there's a certain amount of sacrifice that comes with eventual success. For everything in life you do, actually, there's sacrifice that comes with success. And I imagine the sacrifice here for you is probably the busted toes and the...
Yes.
But you ever have an experience where your toe was busted tonight and you still have to dance tomorrow with the pain?
Yes, all the time. Like I would have my annual show, and weeks we would be practicing hours. We would have a days when we practice from 9 to 5 and so on. And my toes would be, split.
And completely.
5 toes at a time split, but you still have to go. You still have to go on because there's a sacrifice in it.
What would you say to date is the most memorable achievement? Your best moment on stage?
That would be when the group went to Toronto in 2012.
So you have toured as well?
Yes, because we auditioned for it, and it was only us and Jamaica from the Caribbean that went. And it was just the most exciting, thrilling feeling being on that stage. And be a group of girls. All of us are very close. It was just fun,
Yeah, girls just gotta have fun.
Yes.
Let's take a bit of Ashley on stage. We were able to capture Ashley in motion, doing her do, expressing herself with her dance, and we have some footage here that we'll be happy to share with you. Actually, no, I don't know nothing about dance. I like my theater and so, and that's what excites me. Tell me something about that dance. But before you tell me, let me see if I'm correct. I look at that thing and I figure, donkey in your king. No, that's a local expression for a woman having problem with your fella. Yeah?
Yes. For that dance, I wanted to put in a little piece of every genre. So I had the ballet in the beginning,
Right.
the soca, and then the modern piece afterwards. And it was basically a story saying I fell in love with somebody, and then I was showing off for him, sort of, and then his attention drifted to the other girl. So, he was, paying attention, and I'm still trying to get him back, but at the end, I still didn't get him.
Poor thing, according to my mother, poor thing. And that other tune came in just kind of soulful, kind of sorrowful. And I think
Yes.
it was so much into that. Yeah? Congratulations. But
Thank you.
we have, oh my, you felt as though we were leaving you out. I was
So,
coming to
just
you,
waiting.
man. Yeah. so this other lady is Sonaika McKee. And Sonaika has been making a name for herself in a different contribution to the culture altogether. Sonaika, tell us, what do you do?
Well, day and night.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
My mother have a machine home, is a singer too. Yeah. My grandfather had a old singer, a singer vogue, as a cardo. But well, I happen to know you, Sonaika, outside of probably just seeing you, all right? And I know that you share a passion for singing, right? But how long have you started? I mean, I actually started here since you were 7. How long have you been singing?
I've started singing at the age of 8, right? But professionally on stage at the age of 16.
Okay. So what happened between 8 and 16? You were sharpening your voice and that's a thing?
No, at 8-year-old girl, boy, doesn't matter. You're hopping all around, playing, climbing trees, fishing. So I wasn't really focused on singing, although I love singing, and I started singing, impromptu singing at the Riverside, doesn't matter where I may be. But at that time, I was more focused on playing and, girly stuff, dress up and stuff like that.
Girls will be girls.
Yeah.
So when did you really start taking it serious and figure that, you know what, there's something I can do with this talent that I have, that talent that I've found? And when did you start taking it serious?
I started taking it serious after taking part in Waggity competition. The talent search that they had in 2010. And besides not placing first, but I really felt that I needed to take this thing further, because all my life I've dreamt of seeing myself on the stage, and touring, traveling, and living my dream. Because sometimes it's like it puts me in this sort of it takes me out of outer space, right? Because some persons, or it doesn't matter, you might be going through something and there's this one thing that can actually take you out from that situation, and singing has done that for me.
Stick up in
Yeah.
here. You know what's interesting? I listened to your comment and I listened to Ashley's comment, and it's amazing how though you have different passions. Because Ashley, do you sing too?
No.
Yeah. Do you dance?
A little. Probably not a professional like Ashley, but I try to do a little.
Okay. So I mean, we all have a variety of talent, but it's something that we excel in. But what I noticed is that Ashley says the only thing that she's passionate about, that she can do from 9 to 5, and even if her toes are busted, she still does it, is dancing. And contrast that with you, who don't dance, but you sing, and your passion is singing.
Yeah,
it's
singing to
amazing
me,
how-
it brings a joy to my heart. It makes me happy.
Right.
It enlightens my day. Even when I'm at work and I start to sing a tune, it brings out the best in me.
It's just like stop.
But I don't sing so loud to disturb the staff.
Yeah, just tease
But
me.
it really makes me happy. It makes me, it turned me into who I am today.
I hear you speak, and I look at myself, because I'm in performing arts, as you know. Theater has been something that I've loved since I was 6, 7, 2. It's amazing how you there's so much similarities in when the interest is sparked. right? I didn't get a chance to really serious way until, although I was involved different ways in school, but until I left school, I really got the opportunity to be full-time to theater. But pretty much the same way as your passion is dancing and your passion is singing. When I'm on stage and I see people laughing because they're enjoying what I'm doing in a theater production, that brings a thrill that I can't explain otherwise. You know, I can't explain otherwise. So I guess it's probably similar experiences.
Yes,
that you
it
have.
That's the feeling that I get because, you know, you hear a lot of old folks saying that I wish that I've, you know, stuck to my dream and how disappointed they feel and how they regret so many times that they haven't fulfilled their dreams. And I've heard so many persons say that I just do not want that to be me. I don't want to be in a position where I say, Lord, I should have just forget what people said about me and forget the hardship and, you know, that I regret that I didn't do that. I want to be doing it right now. I want to be taking it full, go all the way with it, no matter, because everything that you do, no matter what, like Ashley said, she has a passion for dancing. I have a passion for singing, and it's a lot of effort. It's a lot of burn the midnight oil. You know, my voice is a muscle, and anytime it can go away if you do not. Just like Kirani James, if he has to run, you know, a 400 meter, he has to be. He has to be exercising every time in order for him to develop that muscle. And it's the same thing with the voice, right? So then it's a lot of training, it's a lot of practice. Sometimes I'm overwhelmed because I come from work and I have to go do a performance, I have to go rehearse. I don't even have the energy to do so. But when you're thing and you know, passionate about it, no matter what it is, you would go after that. And that's exactly what I'm aiming at. I do not want to be in a position where I regret not fulfilling that dream. And no matter what, I'm going to go after it.
Thank you, Sonaika. Thank you, Ashley. I want to thank you too so much for coming and share your experiences. I want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing, if only for the fact that you love it. I want to ask you to please go as far as you can possibly take it, even if you lose a couple more in the process, Ashley. And
It won't be a problem.
Right, and in your case, you probably have to come from up tired and still go do it.
Yeah.
But keep pushing. Best of luck.
All right, thank
Right,
you.
And hope one day I'll be able to see you both at the top.
Thank you.
We were speaking with Sonaika here and Ashley, different involvement in the culture and so, but having the same kind of drive, the same kind of passion, that which motivates them. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to have more exciting information on Bonje.
I wish I could say I love you. I wish I could say I do. I wish I could always treasure all the love that I give to you. But you cut my heart wide open till you bled our love apart. Now you wanna say I love you. You wanna take us back to the start. You said you pushed me away. Instead, no more lonely nights in my bed. This boy, I'm gone away. Now that I've gone away, and I'm singing every day, I'm happy inside. Now I'm gone away, my pain has gone away, and I'm singing every day, I'm happy And now that you've lost me, you thought it could break me. You say that you want me. I must be crazy. Now that it's gone away, and I'm singing every day. I'm happy inside. Now I'm gone away. My pain has gone away, and I say every day I'm happy inside. Now I'm gone away, 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 away. I feel like I'm much stronger now, now that I've gone away. Now I'm gone away, 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 away. I feel like I'm much stronger now, now that I've gone away. Gone away.
We were enjoying that video in the background. That was Sonaika McKee, who was just on set with us. And that was one of the videos that she would have done for her song that has been very, very popular. Gone Away is the name of that song. So, that beautiful selection from Sonaika McKee. And of course, you know, every week we must give it extremely exciting, something that makes you go punch. And this week we have a most memorable occasion. I mean, let me tell you, all kind of things happen in the game of sports. I mean, once you're playing with balls especially, I mean, a cricket ball will batsman hit a six, sometimes the ball go all the way up in the stadium, knock out somebody. It has happened. I mean, I remember Chris Gayle, gave a token because he punctured his head or something so with a ball. And then there are times when a tennis ball may knock somebody out again. In this particular case, look at what happened with a lady who came in contact with a football. Take a look.
Ponje.
Ouch.
Ponje.
Let's take a look at that again. I mean, let's just...
Ponje.
Ouch.
Ponje.
I mean, listen, we did say any endeavor of life, there are advantages, disadvantages. I think that can happen along the way. I mean, we did hear in the conversation with Ashley, you know, part of it is that her toes get busted and all of that. So in the field of sports, sometimes the ball comes in contact with you in a way that you didn't expect, just like we saw it. My dear friend, we hope that everything went all right, that you weren't seriously damaged or so, but you know, we actually would feature something that just makes you go, Ponche! Now we have in the studios with us, joining us, two gentlemen who are no stranger to the Grenadian art scene and the culture scene. They're no stranger. This gentleman to my right, the one with the, what drum is that, partner? Arm drum?
A drum?
It's a Nigel de Gill. And Nigel today is accompanied by
Irvin Francis.
Irvin Francis, better known as the
Soup Master.
The Soup Master, man. He makes a soup like nobody else, eh? But I mean, but today we ain't talking soup, we're talking the culture. You two gentlemen have two drums in front of you. And I saw your reaction with the drum when you came in. You could tell when people are passionate about the instrument. Yeah. It kind of remind me of don't play with me quattro. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody touch up, no play up, no. I'm very passionate about my quattro.
Yeah.
Right? And I saw your reaction with the drum.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Well,
your involvement in the culture.
On culture, I love the drum, and I love to write.
Right.
Yeah.
So I imagine you write about the drum a lot of times. Right?
Yes.
Soup Master.
Yeah.
I see your fingers can't stay quiet. You want to do something, you'll get a chance to get later on. But tell us about your involvement in the art. You play the drums, obviously.
Yes, it's my instrument of choice.
Right.
Try playing the pan, the steel pan already. Tenor. Yeah, play with angel harps. Canteen there. I played with my first involvement in steel band was with Belmont South Stars.
Yeah.
Of course, we Nicholson's have the Port Louis.
Yeah.
Of course, they used to have a pan house over there. My first involvement in pan. Then after that, I went to Trinidad.
You played pan in Trinidad too?
Yes.
Were you good?
I try. You know, so I devote my life to the art.
Okay, so tell me, you started your first playing steel band and then eventually went to
the drums?
Uh-huh.
Well, first thing I got in contact with the drums as a little boy, as a little child. My first exposure to the drums was in Parok. Right, I from Parok right there. And right around that place now, we used to have Shango Feast. Right where the gas station is there, we living right there, you know.
Not too far from the Shango thing too.
So I always used to, we had a wall, them walls and them, you know, they used to have a little space and things. So I could always climb up and take a peep to see what going on. So that was my first contact
with the drum.
That
was eye contact.
Yeah, that was the first my spirit, everything, yes. Like that was the first communication with, you know. So that's a journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you play a number of drums. You play the goat skin drum. Then you told us you play the oil drum. Yeah, the oil drum.
The oil drum, yeah.
Nigel, tell us about Tumda. We know that you have been involved, you know, and for years, Tumda actually carved a niche in Grenada as far as the cultural scene is concerned with their own unique, dramatic style. Movement of I think unique inside of there, unique dramatic art, something, a theater of unique dramatic art, is it?
We go tell you. Hold on.
Enlighten me.
Yeah. Well, as you know, Tumda is an acronym for theatre, music, and dramatic arts.
Yeah, no, I wasn't too far, man.
And the group was started 20 years ago. Yeah, October 2nd this year was 20 years since Tumda came into being.
I imagine when they started, you had hair on your head, boy.
Yes, and the founder, the late Michael Ian DeGale, yeah, started that group after his sojourn in Jamaica studying theatre arts. We launched on the 2nd of October 1993 at Heinzie School with Trouble Down. And we did 19 productions with him. And after him, we did 3 productions. And we are in the process of preparing one for around Independence Time next year. So we're still around, and we do little gigs here and there, but we concentrate a lot on passing it on to the younger generation. So where I work, the children play drums.
Very good.
And every Thursday, I teach children from St. Louis Girls and other places to play the drum as well.
I'm glad I hear you mention that Tumda is actually doing something on his own now. Well, not on his own, you've always been on your own, but doing something now as Tumda, and also getting the younger generations involved, because I think too often I see one of the mistakes that we make in this whole field of drama and culture is that, you know, we have a talent, we keep it to ourselves, we expose as much as we can when we're alive, and then when we go, we haven't passed it on. So I'm glad that you're actually getting the younger folks involved now as far as the drumming and so is concerned. But what about drum that have you two so passionate? I mean, I do a lot of thing here, but me and think I could be in any serious kind of way.
Well, you see, you're not supposed to beat the drum. We play the drum.
Okay. Yeah. Point taken.
The goat dead already. You play.
It's an instrument.
Yeah. My first experience with drumming is similar to his, because up the byway in Fontenoy, where Royal Titus from, and Brian Francis from, Dr. Brian Francis from, and Ashiram folks from. Up the byway, we used to have Saraka, you know, some people, but we had a few people from Karakou, because where we live and grew up, our house in the middle here, so one kayak house, another kayak house, another one, and one from P.T. Market right here. So we were surrounded, and they used to keep up the culture, and it's real drum man. And they had a lady called Tanti, she's still living. And Tanti used to have Shango. So at time they see they spoil a fella. And boy, they come up. Hold on.
What do you mean when they say a spoiler fella?
You know, we have the little belief in certain things, right? Some call it witchcraft obia. And that day, I remember, was drum for so.
Yeah.
And they caught the goat, and they bathed him in the blood. And drum boy, and the man started to get bad. And the man tall so. And the woman big so. And his movements, man. And the drum day. And when the drum stopped, everything stopped. So I realized the drum had something. So when I used to go to Heinzie School now, we used to put on Calypso and Old Mass, Heinzie School, you know, 1970, and thing come up. And we had to play the drum. And my class, 5B, a man, Adrian Hayes, he's a retired man now.
I know he.
His class, we say we put on Wild Indian. Well, who to play the drum? Me. Boy, they bring a drum. First time I touching drum. And I beat
No,
And the fellas dance.
oh, you beat.
That was them time. So when I learned though, but you had a time, brother, talking to love. Watch. We want to put on something else because just started teach now, 1985, and this cool. But a bigger man, a big man, lend us a drum. We want to do something. He said, no, they let them try and beat chair.
Yeah.
No, mine is the headquarters at Tumba. We have about 20 drums in there. And they train playing drum. The man said, no, you ain't the drummer.
Yeah,
If I show you the man, you go laugh.
When I ain't gonna laugh, I will vex with you.
Yeah.
Because you had a right to learn you.
Yeah, never.
Yeah, you had a right to
You know,
learn you.
and now it's drum for soul. But
No,
anyway,
hold on.
Yeah.
You see that point, drum for soul?
Yeah.
Girls jump for soul, man.
Drum boy. Hold on.
Jumping man.
Remember last time we were singing what?
No, we'll sing that today. Play the drums today. Come on.
Play the drums today. Play the drums today, Tuna. Play the drums today.
What are you thinking me too, man?
Yeah.
Yes.
I get it. But listen, don't play the drums, eh? I mean, you must understand where I come when I say that. The drums is an instrument next with something deep inside of us.
Not something deep inside of us. It connect with us.
And I'll tell you what I mean by that. I've been in the trade center one time, and there was this group from Carrico. Carrico again, led by
Not Fleury.
Fleury.
Okay. The great Mr.
And
Vincent Fleury.
Fleury, before the presentation, said to us, the drums have a way of connecting with us deep. I can never forget that. He said, chances are, somebody could be infected, he didn't say affected, infected by the drum this evening, right? He said, let's take you down a journey. That's what, and they started by 5, 10, probably about 10, 15 minutes into the thing. I just see a woman scream out somewhere in the back. And she just started, a white woman, me don't know which country she's from, right, but a white woman started gyrating and all kind of movement and so on. She came up and she just gone.
Yeah, that is true. I too sometimes would go in a trance. In fact, I used to do it very often when my brother was alive. Because when I gone playing the drum, the rhythm must continue. Because I would stay where I go. And when they play it, I would come back. But don't play with the drum, it's serious. I remember having an experience in the Saraka by Daigo a long time ago. And they do the nation dances, right? And they have certain rhythms they play. And Mr. Marcel Peters, I wonder if he's still alive.
I'm not sure.
He went in and he danced. It was his nation.
Yeah.
That was his call. You don't play with the drum. Don't make joke, you know. And boy, I with my fastness, say, well, they invite us up. I jump in the ring. And as I reach the stop play, you know trouble take me when I coming down?
Yeah.
Yeah. I lost the 4 flat. I get 4 flat on the road. My 4 tires blow off. I go in the wrong place. What? And I'm afraid. Watch me. You don't play with the drum because there are certain rhythms that evoke demons. Watch. If I play something, I make you vomit, you know.
No, please don't.
Don't fret me, no.
No,
But anyway.
tell me what to do, not to fret you. Tell me what to do, I don't want to fret
There are
you.
certain rhythms you don't play at all. If you play them, you're gone.
Yeah.
So, and some people now, they would get up and try to walk over drum. You don't do that. You respect the drum.
are
You walk around the drum. You understand me?
You know, I
Don't play with the drum.
ever...
You can play the drum, but don't play with the drum.
Yeah.
In other words, don't
Yeah.
play around and
Yeah,
play
yeah,
foolishly.
yeah,
because
yeah.
certain things you might do and play with the drum, you're gone.
But invoking,
Yes.
invoke certain
You know,
spirits.
but it's nice because let me give him a little tease.
No, here.
And
I do want to...
Nancy, oh, sorry, Baba. Nancy, oh, sorry, Baba. Nancy, oh, sorry. That's some kind of... Oh, yeah. Nancy, oh, sorry. Nancy, oh, sorry, Baba. Nancy, oh, sorry. What you stupid. I frightened him there.
No, you put me at
He's getting nervous.
But it's one of the oldest instruments in the world, right? All nations have the drums. The
Yes.
Chinese have the drums.
Yeah, the Indians.
The
have it,
Indians.
They have
that's
marching
true.
bands and
Yeah.
so on. Yeah.
The military have drums. It's like the sword. The drums is like the sword. You understand?
Yeah, yeah.
The sword is in all nations, is the most supreme of all weapons.
Go on.
Tell us something though. That's a very important point because as you say that, I take myself back to the different nations and see somehow they each have a drum in drum,
Yeah.
right? Different types of drum and so.
Yeah.
But what do you take? How do you make a drum really?
But I play drum. I am not a maker. Because the people who play the piano, I
doesn't
don't think they make drum. I can play the drum. I ain't making no drum. This thing look hard for me.
Okay.
Some people do. I pay them to do it. Yeah?
Well, could you tell me the different types of drums that we have? And I'm not going to talk about different nations with drums now, but different types of drums in our own Caribbean kind of setting.
Okay. Well, generally, when you have a performance, you have 3 key drums: the mama, the cutter, and the the rhythm. So this could be the mama, right?
Or the bass.
Right, or the bass, right?
Yeah.
This look like a bass too. And then you cut on this, they get high-pitched songs,
I was just about to ask about the song because I noticed there are some drums. Does it have anything to do with the size of the trunk kind of thing?
Well, the bigger
The circumference?
the diameters are going, you get a deeper song,
And
But
then the next thing again, cut to them, it all depends on the shape of the inside of the keg.
Ah.
They call it keg.
Okay, because we noticed this one, the top where the skin is, and assuming that's goat skin, that doesn't look like goat
No,
skin.
this is mule.
Mule?
Yeah. Imported.
The bottom of it is narrow. So I guess that sort of control the sound. You might get a different kind of sound with this one, where the bottom is narrow too, but they say even a
This
different
looks like a
design.
djembe. Shaped like a djembe.
That shape like something like a woman in a way.
Yeah.
Speaking of woman, hey, Tano! I tell Tantan good night. What, man, girl? I'm a good girl.
She doesn't talk.
No.
Sign language.
Tantan just like to quiet. And poor boy in the back there. Poor boy there with us 3 weeks now.
But that's
I can't see poor boy face at all, No, don't touch him, mask. You see how you play the drums? Don't play with poor boy mask.
Yeah, you might just slap it.
So we are speaking about a different type of drum. So this one is look like a djembe here or what?
But the djembe is the which part of Africa the drum come out? Then you have talking drums, those that you put below your arm and you squeeze and you knock with a stick, so you get different tones. They call it talking. But there are a lot of drums, and I was exposed to a number of them.
I am so happy that you passed. We really wish we could have continued for the rest of the evening, but time is against us. Thank you, Nigel.
Yes, man. And don't play the drum, but you can play the drum. Right? Yeah.
Thank you, Soup Master.
Bonjour.
We take a break right now. When we come back, we join us again on Bonjour.
Okay.
It's a cultural theme. Experience of the spice. Friday nights from 8 to 9. Culture at its best. A way of life, of customs and traditions. Hey, hear the stories. Listen to the music. Witness the action and the old talk. A real Grenadian cultural experience. Bon J, a product of the Grenada Cultural Foundation.
Welcome back to the final segment of our show, Bonje, and at this time we want to present to you our video moment. We try to highlight a beautiful video or at least something from our own folk, our people, and today we want to ask you to sit back, relax, and enjoy our video moment presentation.
There is a time, when you hear that song, when you feel the breeze, and you know that they're ready. The generation of job, the generation of a whining, the generation of carnival, and that's what it is. Generation generation. What sensation, we start in a generation. This that we started, you got to give them room. I say let them improvise, cause they coming out here to keep carnival alive. So anyway that they pass, whether old or middle class, look how they run your chain. No, this session going to last. Them body, them body. We start in a generation, generation. We start in a generation, a violent generation. We start in a generation. What sensation? We start in a generation. This that we started when the hot are in the north, the mad are in the south. The youth them take it over. You can see them all about. So tell you don't make no judgment. Come and don't judge me round. Not beside the house, it bring down a foundation. Them body, them body. We start in a generation, generation. We start in a generation, a violent generation. We start in a generation. What sensation? We start in a generation. This that we started, man. Anyway you can fight them on this problem, cause I know they playing mass, they playing mass of class. Look at that one there, watch his head, show his attention. And watch him man there on his face, show his pencil. Them body, them body. We start in a generation, generation. We start in a generation, a violent generation. We start in a generation. What sensation? We start in a generation. This that we start. My boy, mama, hey, I see them coming down on the body. Mama, boy, mama, hey, I see them coming down on the body.
It is an established fact that time flies so much so quickly when you're having fun. It was a wonderful evening this evening on Bunjay. The video we're just looking at is a video presentation by Brother B, that soca artist out of Victoria, who sprung up in recent years and really has made a name for it. The tune is available, the video is available at iTunes. You can download it from iTunes or Amazon.com. Of course, you have to pay. Hey, what's your mind telling you? But of course, you can go and download that video from the areas given. Those of you who were out this evening, who went to put the candles on your grave of your loved ones, hope that you had a very enjoyable time. Hope that the rain didn't affect you too much, and hope that you were able to connect, bond with, find whatever it is in terms of connecting with your departed souls, friends, family, relatives, whatever they were. Remember, Independence is coming up. Please continue to beautify your place. It's 40 years we're celebrating. It's quite an eventful time. 40 years, as I said earlier on, in the life of anything is quite an achievement. So please beautify your place. Remember, keep it environmentally nice. Do your flowers, do your actions, whatever you do. Let's make the place look nice for the celebrations. And until next time, until next Friday, when we'll be here again from 8 to 9, have a wonderful weekend, a beautiful week, and see you again. Love you. Bunjay!